so much. You've been a lot of fun. Thank you for coming out. You guys rock. You guys are the best. Thank you. Hey everybody, welcome to After the Show on Laviolette. I'm here with Tim Dillon.
Hello.
We're here at Lap Boston. You just did an awesome set.
Amazing show.
So we were talking about this. Even prior to the show.
Yeah.
With the snowstorm and everything going on. It was a more intimate house.
Yeah.
And I think from a performer standpoint,
I'm also not successful. That's another thing you want to add to the weather
because that's the only people we book here at Lap Boston.
No, I mean it's getting there. We're getting there little by little.
Look, we're just it's a front. That's all this is, man. So we try to keep our labor.
But it was a great crowd.
It was. Well, and that's what we're talking about. Like, in coming up as a performer, I think sometimes people can think like, oh, it's a small crowd. Oh, what kind of show is it? But if you know what you're doing, which you clearly do, I find sometimes can be the most fun.
I think you could have a lot of fun with them, especially on a Thursday night. You're kind of warming up for the weekend. I love them, and you could get to know them. You can have fun with them. And I loved it. I enjoyed it.
Well,
sometimes it's too small. I've done 4 people in a patio and in LA. That's a lot.
In a patio?
Yeah, like a patio of a bookstore. There's 4 people there. Yeah. I mean, so I've had some rough ones where it's like that's kind of hard to make that argument where you're like, oh, this is great, you know.
Well, whenever we talk about it, it's like we always love to hear about like those stories. Like, doing the shitty gig in the patio or whatever.
Yeah.
Is there any other ones like that really stand out?
I did a New Year's Eve show where there was no audience, but the promoter said, "Would you do the set anyway?" And I said, "No, but really?" And he said, "No, I'd like you to do the set." And him and his wife were there, and they had hats on and noisemakers, and were going like they were mentally ill, literally. And I did the set for an empty room, and they loved it. And they would clap, and they would do noisemakers, and so that was them.
So why a New Year's? What kind of venue was it?
It was a bar called Behind Bars in Long Island, and they had not promoted it well. It was like an $80, which included nothing. It was like the comedy show and this chafing dish full of wings. And no one came, just him and his wife, and they were like, we'd still like you to do it. I'm like, all right, and I did it, because, you know.
I wonder if it was one strange, just elaborate setup of like 2 Uber fans of yours just to get a private.
Yeah, I don't know. They were weird. They were in the comedy scene. Some people just, the delusion runs real deep.
Sure. And
sometimes people don't want to, admit that things aren't working,
Yeah.
Some of the best times of comedy are when somebody goes out and bombs horribly and then walks back in the green room and goes, hey, we're good. Those are the best.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, it was fun.
Well, the other part of it is the idea, too, because what I like to explore is, all right, so you do the shows and you do this all around the country, around the world, and I'm always interested. The weird shit often happens after the show, right? Interactions with the audience, and look, 8 times out of 10, everybody's great or whatever. But there's always those weirdos that, and you have without giving anything away, you get the very funny bit about, the guy coming in late, and he's like, "You're the guy who's gonna shoot me."
Yeah.
But the thing is, as a performer, there's a little truth to that.
Yeah, there are some dudes who are like I do a lot of different podcasts, and there are some guys that are a little too into it, where they know the exact minute. They're like, remember when you were on Bobby's show, like minute 38, 39, he called you fat and then you called him fat, that was great. And it's like, oh, you should be in a hospital, if you know that much about what's going on a podcast. Like, you're in trouble.
Have you ever got into been in an extra strange situation after the show, at the bar, walking to the car, have you ever found yourself in something like that?
Yeah, I mean, there are some weird situations where, like, I do that ice cream bit where I just make fun of different ice creams, and I had a woman confront me after the show and scream at me because she grew up eating Breyer's ice cream, which I make fun of, and she screamed and yelled at me. I had a woman run on stage once in my 2nd year and just punch me in the stomach. Seriously, she just punched me in the stomach.
Why did she?
I don't know. She was just this angry, like, punk rock girl. She just came. I don't even know what I said, but she just punched me in the stomach and then darted back into the audience. It was kind of funny though. Like, it worked in a weird way. It was like, oh, this is. People after the show were like, did you set that up for her to come up and punch you? I was like, no. They're like, that was good. They're like, that worked out well.
Insane.
It turned the show around. I wasn't doing well. She darted up out of nowhere, popped me, and then ran away, and then I started doing great. It was weird. It was second year in. It's like,
well, and that's why you gotta go see live entertainment, in particular comedy, because the craziest show ever, and more often than not, it's fun. It's a funny show. But man, there are times, if you do this long enough, where the craziest shit will happen live on stage, and the audience always thinks it's a bit. The audience thinks like, oh, that was really funny when that guy came up and got in your face and was screaming at you. I'm like, didn't you see the fear in my eyes?
No, but there's been some weird stuff. There's always some weird stuff out there, Or then there's also people who just want to talk for like an hour.
Sure.
People just want to tell you about like some people go, hey, I never did comedy. Don't really have any interest in it. And I'm like, okay. They're like, but you do it good. But it's not for me. I mean, you do it good, but I would never do it. And it's like, oh, okay, that's fine. This doesn't have to be a real conversation we have. You just say this in your head as you drive off. But some people just want to get in there,
Well, I think too, at least in watching your show, and even seeing how you are, there are some people that are just right off the bat, you're like, that guy's approachable. And I think you have that.
Well, because I interact with the crowd. I think that's funny, and I want to interact with people. I think that's what makes live performance live to me. Otherwise, just watch Netflix. Like to me, when something happens or when something seems funny, like making an observation about something, that I love that type of. I also love comedy where people don't talk to the crowd at all. But to me, I love talking. To people. I think it's funny.
I love it too. I love it. The last thing I'll say before I let you go, just because it's my own personal interest in you a little bit, is. And maybe you get this all the time. I don't give a shit because you don't get it from me. Is your interest, and maybe I'm using the wrong word, your interest in things like conspiracy theories. I love that stuff.
I'm into that big time,
man. I love that stuff.
There's certain people that are, and there's certain people that aren't. Like, I don't smoke weed anymore. I don't really drink. I don't do anything. But I was I was there for the birth of YouTube. Like my generation, when you get stoned and call your friend and be like, you gotta watch this clip. Not only this clip, but like minute mark 4 through 8. I was just, I've always been into stuff that's fun to talk about. And to me, those things are fun. Politics gets very contentious immediately. People start fighting. Everybody thinks they know. They don't. You don't know. You know what I mean? I think they know people. I don't know. That's why all these celebrities that are kind of doing shitty things, people are so shocked, and it's like you don't know any of these people. You don't know Kevin Spacey. I can't believe Kevin Spacey. You don't know.
What was the last time you had Kevin Spacey over your house?
Kevin Spacey could be a cannibal. I wouldn't be shocked. If somebody said to me, "Oh, and then he eats the kids," I'd be like, "Oh, sure." I don't know him, but I love the idea of there's a lot going on that we don't really see and know, and it's fun to talk about and read about. I try to find people that are credible. There's some crazy people out there, but there are really credible people that write these really good books that kind of go ignored, and I always try to get into them and try to I was on this Sam Tripoli is a comic out in LA. He's got a great podcast called Tinfoil Hat, and we were on that and we're just kicking around, and they're just fun, and they lend themselves to, I think, being funny because we don't know so much about the world, and I think that I don't know if the version we're getting is the accurate one.
Sure, and you get tired of hearing. You can't just keep talking about something, and at least there's something fun about that. I love that stuff too. And so that was one of the things I'm like.
I love to dig in.
Well, awesome. Well, hey, I'm thrilled to have you here. So
thank you so much.
You got what?
Saturday.
You got Saturday, right? So
Saturday,
so you got
two shows here. Saturday, 8 and 10:30.
Yeah, 8 and 10:30, I think it is.
8 and 10:30. Come.
Come.
Drink, eat.
Shout out crazy conspiracy theories.
Shout out whatever you want. I don't care.
If you want, run up on stage, just punch
Kill
me in the gut.
Yeah, I have no standards.
Yeah, neither do we here. That's why we're at this club. Awesome job. Thanks.
Thank you so much.